Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Dental Bay. Today we're gonna carve the mandibular central incisor. In this video, we're gonna carve the left mandibular central incisor. So let's get started. First we will smoothen out all the surfaces using the blunt end of the carver. Now we will draw the midline in all the four faces of wax block. Now with the help of ruler and the divider, we will mark the length of the crown, which is 9.5 mm. Then we will mark the length of the root, which is 12.5 mm. So basically, you don't have to take exactly 9.5 or a 12.5 here. We can put little extra like 10 mm or 13 mm for that. So at least when we carve, we have some space, or we have still a little extra wax. So now we are marking the aspects. We have mesial aspect. Now we will turn the wax block to the clockwise side, and the palatal side, now the distal side, and your labial side. Now we will mark the mesio-distal diameter of the crown, which is 5 mm, on the labial and palatal surface. Now we will mark the mesio-distal diameter of crown at cervix, which is 3.5 mm, same again on the labial and the palatal side. Now we will mark the buccolingual diameter of crown, which is 6 mm on the mesial and distal side, and buccolingual diameter of crown at cervix, which is 5.3 mm on the mesial and distal sides. We will join these lines. Now we're gonna mark the curvature of cervical line on the mesial surface, which is 3 mm, and on the distal surface, which is 2 mm. Now we are done with the marking of all aspects on the crown. We will join the lines on the top of the block, so that when we will carve out, we'll still have some dimensions left and we don't need to measure again. So we'll carve out the extra wax from the labial and your palatal side. Make sure you don't carve out extra, okay? Rather leave a little extra wax there, so that you still have a scope of correcting it later. Now making sure that we don't carve those curvatures of cervical line. So now we will mark these lines again on the carved surface and remove the extra wax from the mesial and distal surfaces, leaving that curvature of cervical line. Now we roughly got the dimensions we require for the crown. Keep on checking the dimensions in between if you feel like you're not going correct or what. To be honest, carving from the sharp edge is not recommended, but yeah, depends on your practice, how much you have practiced on the wax block. You can use it this way, or you can use the blunt end. the way we did in the triangle carving, we can carve the surface that way as well. Now we will mark the root surfaces later on. First we will do this on your mesial and distal side. We'll draw this diagram. You can look into the velars, you will get to know the diagram of the mesial and the distal side, and we will draw the same and carve off the extra wax left behind. Now on the palatal side we'll remove the wax. Now we have got the rough shape for the crown. We will move on to the markings for the root. You just basically have to do is use your velars or diagram for the mandibular central incisor and draw the exact same diagram on the same aspects. The diagram you can see on the mesial side, draw on the mesial side. You see on the distal, draw it on the distal side. Same for the labial and the lingual aspect. Now we will carve out the extra wax. Make sure you consider those diagrams you've drawn on the different aspects of the wax block and carve only to the limit. Well, we are drawing again just because we lost that diagram when we were carving out the surface, and carve out the extra surface on your mesial and distal side now. Now we will move on to the root, mesial and distal side. Don't forget to keep on checking the measurements in between so that you don't lose dimensions. Here I still had some extra wax on the cervical line, so we are carving that out. Now we are achieving the rough shape for the root. Keep on checking the diagrams on the velars and try to copy that thing. Create those linear fossas as well. After you're done rounding the surfaces a bit, don't keep it edgy. the finishing touches on the cervical line, and make sure you don't deepen the cervical line a lot. It's in the flow. The root and the crown is always in the flow. They're never very distinctive or separated. Now creating the linear fossas on the mesial and the distal surface of the root. Doing little more finishing touches. Checking up on the measurements and doing slight adjustments if we have lost any dimension or we still have some extra wax left. And make sure you carve the distal end a bit. Give it a little curvy structure on the distal end. After doing the crown length perfect, create the fossa, your cingulum, and give the sharpie edge to the incisal aspect. Finally, we have achieved the permanent mandibular central incisor. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Do share this video to your other BDS fellows and like and comment on this video. Thank you. Bye bye. Signing off.